Hello, everyone, and welcome to season two of Mod Talks. I am your host for today. My name is Nikki Hill Albert, and I'm super excited for today's episode because we're going to be chatting with one of the most refreshing and versatile designers in the industry. And yeah, I personally can't wait to pick her brain, and I'm sure you guys will have a lot of questions for her as well. So make sure that you stay tuned all the way to the end of this webinar for our question and answer portion. But before that, if you guys are joining us for the first time, I just want to give you a brief background on Modularity Home, the team behind ModTalks. So, Modularity Home is the exclusive Philippine distributor of premium Italian home brands, Scavolini, Valgocine, Pianca, and Elega. Modularity Home focuses its core on cabinetry and living systems that began with kitchens, which, as we all know, is the heart of the home. Established about a decade ago, the company has expanded into bathrooms, bedrooms, wardrobe, and entertainment systems, utilizing valuable elements that inject soul into each space in the home. With the brands that they carry, they continue to preserve their indelible vision of providing synergized life spaces matched with exemplary service so families can enjoy a timeless experience of function and beauty at home. Now, about the Mod Talks is a webinar series produced by Modularity Home. And this was born out of an idea to inspire and ignite interest in style, design, and architecture. So, this was built to encourage conversation about new design concepts and innovations that would keep end users as well as industry practitioners informed and engaged. This is a collaborative platform that we would like to share with industry professionals to kind of like educate and contribute insight about design, architecture, style, construction, home improvement based on their professional and personal experience. Now, for this particular episode, Home Away from Home, we will be talking to Nina Santamaria. She's the principal designer of Grupo Santa Maria. And we're going to learn how it's like to live outside the city as well as design getaway havens for different clients. So let's listen in as she shares her life experiences and adventures that inspire her to create beautiful work for each of her clients. So we're going to learn about her thought process, designing for projects outside the city, and turn dream vacation homes into reality. But before we start our conversation, I just like to remind everyone that we will have time to answer questions from the audience. So just jot it down or feel free to send them in the chat box and we'll try to address all, if not as much as we can, throughout the webinar. Also, we are giving away a Sonos Roam speaker, and this is brought to you by Mod Audio Philippines. So the winner will be announced tomorrow, but for our new attendees here, we're giving everyone a chance to still join. Mechanics are super simple. All you have to do is number one, follow at Modularity Home and at Mod Audio PH on Instagram. Number two, repost this post. We will be flashing it on the screen on your feed with a hashtag Mod Talks giveaway. Again, that's hashtag Mod Talks giveaway. And make sure that you tag at Modularity Home, at Mod Audio PH, and two friends. There you have it. All right. Get comfortable, guys. Before we go any further, of course, I'd like to call on the man behind Modularity Home. Please welcome General Manager Brian Ontiveros. Hey, Brian.
Hi, Nikki. Good seeing you guys. It's been
Good
a
to
while.
see ya. I
Um,
know.
new lockdowns in place. I hope what we're doing now would entertain people. Keep things light and exciting.
Yep.
Um, so you guys know that we established Modularity Home because we felt like the Philippines is ready for these kinds of products, these brands that we carry from Italy. Um, we work with a lot of designers and architects, and they make these dreams come true for clients and also for us. So it's a very good collaboration. For me, Mod Talks is very informal. I wanted to thank everyone who continuously joins these talks for the success of this whole um, activity. And Nikki, thank you as well for agreeing to join again. Um, Nina is a very good friend of mine. She's one of the first designers that we worked with. Um, Di ko alam, Nina, kung naalala mo, but the first time I think that I met you, I went, knocked on your door, and then invited you to coffee or to lunch. And then when we had that meeting, I forgot to bring my wallet, so you had to pay for that meal. So it's a it's it's a good memory that I have. But ever since then, we've worked on a lot of projects together. We had very good chemistry in terms of both our companies and our team members, and we have them to thank for that. So thank you, Nina, for deciding to join us today. Yeah, Nikki, pass it back to you.
I hope you've paid. I hope you've paid Nina, Brian,
May utang pa ako.
at some point. Pinag-guest mo pa.
Pinag-guess ko pa.
Alright. Well, let's not let's not take too long because I really want to get to know our guest and any other secrets about Brian that she may have. Our speaker is a graduate of the University of the Philippines. She is the principal designer of Grupo Santa Maria. This firm has over 15 years of commitment to design that enhances life by improving the spaces it moves within. So, being exposed to art at an early age, she nurtured a deep appreciation for aesthetics, including her love for interior and architectural design as she was growing up, thus developing a sharp sense of observation. Very important in design. Observation, insight, and creativity. She has served as resource speaker and thesis juror for various audiences while honing her craft. She's an avid surfer, a traveler, and she draws inspiration and balance from the places she visits and the people that she meets. She also believes that the foundation of good design lies in a strong bond of trust among client, builder, and designer. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome Nina Santamaria. Hi, Nina.
Hello, Nikki. Hi, Brian. I'm so thrilled to be here. Kahit na yung opening speech ni Brian nabuking agad na ako easy to get. Kumatok lang siya dun sa sa door ng office ko. Tumama naman ako agad. And pinagbayan pa ako.
Abonado ka pa.
Oo. No, but that was the start. That was the start of our very...
My first question was gonna be, binayaran ka na ba ni Brian?
I think ilang beses na niya akong nilibre after that. So thank you, Brian.
Okay. So quits na. All right, Nina, well, thank you once again for saying yes to MODTalks. Everyone's just so excited to kind of like see what your design process is like. And of course, we just want to pick your brain and kind of like if you have like nuggets of wisdom that you've learned in your many years in the industry. So I guess it's safe to start from the very beginning. We want to know what got you into interior design or the arts in general? Like, was this, I mean, I mentioned it in my intro earlier, you were exposed to this at an early age. Is this like a family thing or?
Well, I guess you could trace it all the way back to my childhood because I think I owe it to my mom because she had all these home magazines scattered around the house.
Okay.
When we were kids, yung mga Better Homes and Gardens and
yes.
like Good Housekeeping, and I don't know, she had a subscription or she was sent boxes from our relatives in the States. So I would like browse these as a kid, and I'm talking about as early as maybe 3 years old or something, or 4 years old. And then it was like it opened my eyes to how you can, to beautiful interiors look. And although it's medyo biased kasi American style yon, di ba? Yung like my exposure.
Correct.
But it made me appreciate how interiors could be arranged in a different way because I grew up in, I'm a 70s, 80s kid. So it was very different back then, diba? Like we had limited resources and limited magazines or glossies. Yeah. So I think when I was growing up, I was also enrolled in a lot of art classes, in a lot of painting classes, art classes,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, like piano, dance. So, opening my eyes, it made me exposed to all these arts. And when it came to choosing my course, when I was about to enter college, it was a no-brainer. It was really either I enter fine arts or architecture, and eventually I ended
Mm-hmm.
up in interior design. So it was kind of I never really had an interest in medicine or or
Yeah.
business courses. It was really geared towards that.
Yes.
Yes, I could blame my upbringing. It was really what I was
Mm-hmm.
exposed to, and also traveling at a young age. Yeah.
Was there anyone in your family that was professionally involved? I mean, they were in the industry. Anyone, or are you the first in your family to be a
I think
professional
I'm the very
in?
first interior designer, but I do
Okay.
have a cousin who is an architect. I have cousins who are engineers. But really in the ID field, it's really just me.
Mm-hmm.
If I
Nikki,
wasn't an interior
Let's
designer, I
talk.
would have been.
Nikki, we were talking about this
Mm-hmm.
earlier, in our
Yeah.
pre-webinar meeting. I think I envy people like Nina, they're very sure of what they want, diba, during high school. Parang
Yeah.
when I was in high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to be. So parang
Even in college.
even in college, yeah. So parang
ngayon, Bri, okay na.
ngayon medyo wala na akong choice yata eh. Hindi, ngayon okay na. I think yun, it's our tendency to make our passion our careers, diba? And
Yeah.
it's very seldom that we are able to do that. Parang ako kahit yung
That's
passion
right.
ko architecture and design, I had to go a different route. I had to go through, these products and these brands to be able to work with people
Business. Yeah.
like you, Nikki, or Nina, diba? So parang I envy people like Nina na, starting 3 years old, nagdo-drawing na siya, alam na niya, tapos eventually, 'di ba, either fine arts or interior design. Yeah.
Parang they get
I
a
guess
big head start, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I also just avoided then a course that had a lot of math in it. So it wasn't
Maraming
really
math.
excelled in. So
Marami ring math dito sa ginagawa
May
natin.
may accounting pa rin si idea.
meron din actually.
Meron din. Well, speaking of beginnings, let's go back to humble beginnings. Do you remember your first ever project?
Yes. Oh, well, before I put up my own firm, I also worked for a couple of home stores first. So just to
Mm-hmm.
have some experience in the field, talking
Yeah.
to other architects and designers. Was managing a home store in Durieta, and it was my first peek into how
Mm-hmm.
designers work, how they ordered furniture, how they talk, how they interacted with their clients and everything. So after a couple of years of doing that, I realized that sayang naman kasi I have a license. I'm a licensed ID. So I started to do freelance work basically, and for a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, I was just working from home after I
Mm-hmm.
stopped working in that home store.
In
So
retail. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and Nikki, it was like all of these drawings that you're seeing now, they're like manual drawings. So in my
I
house, I had a drafting
know.
table. They had the drafting table and a fax machine, and that was it. This was like in the early 2000s, until
Yeah.
2006 or 7, when I think SketchUp arrived and everybody started learning it, and it made work faster
Yes.
and everything.
Yeah.
So by that time, I had a lot of projects under my belt, and they were pretty very fulfilling. It was
Mm-hmm.
I was just working on my own, dealing with the contractors and the suppliers. So at first, it was very challenging. They saw me as a young girl, bagong graduate or
Yeah.
what, and like they felt I had no experience, and I'm like butting
Mm-hmm.
heads with all these engineers on site. But you gotta, that's how you learn eh. Parang you really have to
Yeah.
toughen up a bit, and
Yeah.
you also have
And
to
just
know
get
your,
in there.
exactly, you have to know your stuff too, diba? You can't just go there and make mistake
Wing
after
it.
mistake. Yeah, so you
That's
really
right.
have to prove na, kind of made me step up, na parang I
Mhm.
had to like prove that I knew what I was doing and I could keep up with everyone. And in the end,
Yeah.
the client was my first clients were happy naman. In fact, that's how it starts, diba? Like we don't really advertise our practice, but we get
Yes.
recommended.
Yeah.
So
Word
the
of
minute you
mouth.
do
Yeah.
one, two good jobs in the beginning of your career, you get recommended to their friends, or
That's
they
right.
they see the house, the visitors see the house, and they you get more projects. So it really just starts
Mm-mm.
like that. And I'm seeing my old drawings now, and it's like brings back so many memories on the drafting table. But yeah, that's
Many
how
late
it started.
nights.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
how it started, and then that's it. Like, just I just kept getting.
Designers now. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's how it started, and that became like, it gave birth to other projects, like these
Yeah.
small humble beginning projects. Yeah.
So
So
Nina,
seeing as
sorry,
sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Nina, you started working, I think with our friend sila Ito, diba?
Right. That was the
Or
store that.
sila Ito Kish before. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
That,
Oh.
is that a good,
Wow.
parang, was it good for you, like starting out working for like a furniture store or a
Retail.
in retail? Parang, how did that help you, parang give you insight siguro on how to deal with clients maybe, or 'di ba? Parang it's more fast
Right.
paced. You have to sell a lot, 'di ba?
Right. Well, Brian, it's like I didn't really plan to work in a home store in the beginning, because being an IB graduate, you want to work for an architectural firm, diba? That's your dream, or an IB firm. But during the time that I graduated, okay, booking na, no, 1999 ako graduate. So when I graduated in 1999, like, the real estate, it wasn't booming
Yeah.
around that time. It was very down. The economy wasn't so good. So none of these firms were hiring. None of these architectural and IT firms were hiring. So I was like, I don't just want to stay at home and wait until they have an opening, because nobody was hiring nga. But I really left my
Yeah.
resume in all these firms, and before, you didn't just email it. You had to go to the office and leave it with a reception. So day after day, I would go to all these firms, the big firms, until, well, nobody was calling, or they would say, nobody, we're not hiring. So what I did was, it was really just a random thing that I started. I was just walking around Ayala Center,
Yeah.
and then I saw that, there was an opening for this store, Kish. It was like a very beautiful home store, small but beautiful.
Yeah.
So then Ito needed a manager, and that's it. I applied, and I worked for him for 2 years.
Yeah.
What I got from the experience, even if it wasn't your conventional first job as an ID, was, well, number one, visual merchandising. So I was able to
Mm-mm.
learn how to do visual merchandising in the store, and also, the back office business of purchase orders, and specifying and designing furniture, because we did custom furniture, and also talking to suppliers, dealing with interior designers and architects, all these things. So I guess you really just take what you can from
Mhm.
wherever you end up in. I learned a lot. I learned even how to transact, transact with banks, operate a credit card machine, and actually go to the job sites. Check the elevator, if the furniture that's going to
Yeah.
be there is gonna fit. Keep an inventory of stuff in the warehouse. All these things really help. It still helps me up to this day.
Hindi mo
Knowing, yeah, and being kinder to suppliers as well, diba? You know
Mm-mm.
how, any supplier, how to be kind to them, how to how they work, how it's hard to look for stuff in the warehouse and stuff like that. So kind of just learn. There are learnings no
Yeah.
matter where you end up.
Yeah. Speaking of learnings, Nina, we're looking at your work, and um it just one word is really, you're very versatile. Parang it's
Thank
different
you.
from different periods, different styles. But of course, when you zoom out, you'll see that there is that Grupo Santa Maria touch. But it seems like each project is really unique and different depending upon whether it's commercial or residential. So, can you tell us a bit more about your signature aesthetic? Because typically, 'di ba, mga designers, especially the older ones, they really stick to a kind of like a look.
Right.
Um, but Grupo Santa Maria, it feels like, there is your touch, but at the same time, it's like you can work with different tastes, with different clients, different aesthetics. So can
Right.
you just tell us a bit more about your process?
Sure. Di ba when we design for clients, the first thing we do is to assess, to get to know, assess their needs. Who are they? Di ba?
Mm-mm.
Parang not every client
Yeah.
to us is our friend or tita, or at the beginning, yes, that's how it starts. But who are these people asking you to design their space? So you have to do a client profile and understand what they need, who they are, what they need, who are going to be the users of the space. Is it a family, a couple, may extended family ba, may seniors, are there pets, are there how many bedrooms? So once you assess these needs of the client, um that's going to be your basis in making the design. So what I'm saying is, we may have, let's say, different projects all at the same time. Imagine they have different client profiles and different needs and different lifestyles and different
Mm-hmm.
sizes and locations of the ano. So uh your job, like our job as interior designers, is to guide them and in like optimizing that space for them.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of look, space arrangement, lighting, finishes, everything, ambience.
No,
I think we
lasting.
lost Nina. Yeah, we'll give her some time to get back. But right, Brian, did you notice? Parang Nina is it's very different. The looks are very different. Parang
Yes.
it's hard to say na ayan gawa lang yan ni, I mean, for
And
me that's a good thing because it means you can work with different kinds of clients, and you get to experiment with different looks.
I think that the signature, parang the X factor of Nina for me, is parang the human
Mm-mm.
factor. Yun nga, yung human
Yeah.
interaction. Tapos si Nina is, she's one of those people na madiskarte, easy to work with.
Mm-mm.
Um, as interior designers, I understand you guys have to parang adapt to the architect, diba? Kasi
That's
iba-ibang
right.
iba yung architect so for each project, iba-iba yung client. So parang you kind of have to be flexible then, um,
Yeah.
able to pull that off. So yun, I
Yeah.
think with our experience working with Nina, parang we really see that. Parang nakita namin
Mm-mm.
yung care and yung parang flexibility niya in terms of design and how to deal with different types of
Yeah.
client. Yeah.
Meron kasing mga clients that are
Hi, I'm back.
there you go.
Ay, nila.
Sorry, weather.
I know, no, it's we were expecting this. But
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
so we were just talking about how Brian was saying, parang ang X factor ng Grupo Santa Maria, or your X factor is how you're able to you're able to build good relationships with your clients,
Yeah.
and
Right,
you're the kind of
right.
designer who really listens to what they need. Parang you can, I don't know, I mean, from what I'm hearing and seeing, it's, I don't feel like you kind of like insist on a particular style or aesthetic, no, you're
Right.
really open, which I think
That's where the
makes you a
the challenge
yes.
Yeah.
lies talaga. Oo, it's parang we're the magicians. We're the ones who kind of like
Yes.
put everything in a pot and cook it together, and then when we serve that dish, there's our skill in there in crafting this space for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, parang kami yung chef in putting all of these things together. Yeah.
Correct. Kasi I was saying like some clients, they really know what they want, but they don't know how to put it together, or
Right.
hindi nila alam kung ano ba yung mga bagay. So which I think is why you are a favorite among those who uh have second homes or vacation houses. So maybe we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Like let's focus on your residential
Sure.
projects, which is very very personal, lalo na vacation homes, it's deeply personal. So
Right.
yeah, maybe you can walk us through what it's like to kind of design these homes outside of the city,
Sure.
especially now that we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Sure, sure. Uh, Actually, you mentioned, Nikki, that the type of clients that I don't know. I guess the type of clients that I attract are the ones who, for some reason, they're the ones who also have like a strong sense of design already. Parang they
Mm-mm.
already know um what they want, so it's not that
Yeah.
hard for me to. It's really just for me to guide them, and these are also the people who are asking me to do vacation homes or second homes. Whether it's a retirement home or you know, a rest house or a halfway house, the point is like the common trait of all these homes is like it's geared towards a slower way of living, like a
Mm.
slower way of living, a, a kind of lifestyle geared towards family
Yeah.
bonding and recreation. They always want to be able to do sports or swim at a nearby beach or the pool, or do crafts by the dining area, or just like a huge, even if it's just a huge TV room. But
Mm-mm.
the common request is really for a lot of family time. Originally yan, for weekends, summer vacations, long holidays, like that. But now,
Mm-mm.
the homes that they are asking us to design is really like year round vacation style homes, because of everyone's experience during the lockdown, where
Yeah.
we all got stuck
Mm-mm.
in our houses, and we realized that we kind of neglected maximizing the areas of our homes into, like, the kitchen now is not just for cooking, it's also for like bonding time, doing homework, or even the
Mm-mm.
fact that not now everybody in the family cooks, 'di ba? Dati it was just
Yeah.
like one or two people in the family. Now even kids, they know how to make banana bread or like all these mga
Correct.
food that everyone wanted to learn during the lockdown because everyone got stuck at home. Um, it's really how do I say this? We have a couple of had a couple of out of town projects, and it's been a real pleasure to design these for our clients, because it makes you realize, diba, that this life pala is possible, that
Mm-mm.
you kind of design everything around a more leisurely way of life, where it's not all about rushing out to a hurried to a more hurried way of life. So
Yeah.
have you noticed this trend also in like among the people that they're really like trying to move out of the city, move out of their
Mm-mm.
condos, move back to their family homes or their homes in the provinces. I don't know, it's like what the pandemic brought, maybe. But also
Yeah.
before that, people are always having these staycations anyway, before the pandemic. That was the uso, diba? People would like just book Airbnbs around the country and
That's right.
just have staycations in Batangas or in in whatever, La Union, Laguna, Baguio.
Yeah.
So it's really
Is
it's really
is
good for the health, everything, mental, spiritual, emotional, physical health, I guess.
is there a particular feature that your clients ask for in a vacation home that you noticed lahat ng nagpapatayo ng vacation home, ito ang hinihingi?
Definitely a big living room that connects
Big
to
living room.
open. So vacation homes usually they request for an open plan. Like an open plan meaning, the living flows into the kitchen, into the dining. This one on the screen now is a home that we designed in Cebu. One of
Mm-hmm.
the members are uses a wheelchair. That's why there's
Okay.
a ramp.
A
And
ramp.
this was designed, yeah, this was designed before the pandemic started. It was such a good it was good timing because they were so
Mm.
happy that everything they needed in the house was already there, including a home gym and even a personal salon and a massage area and a home office. It was the perfect lockdown house, but
Yes.
meant to be a lockdown house. They just wanted a complete home that it could be, yeah, like they feel like they're on vacation. Yeah, if you notice, it's an open plan in the living
Yes, yes.
dining
You can
kitchen.
see everything from a certain point.
Right, because it's what do you want to feel when you're on vacation? You want to feel relaxed, and how do you achieve this? You, like
Mm-hmm.
compared to like living in your condo in the city or what? You want daylight. You want lots of passive ventilation. You want air, natural air passing through the house. You want spacious, like you want the feeling of a big space. Lots of space to move around. If your
Yeah.
kids want to rollerblade around the house or nightmare ng mga mommies.
How
No, that's how
how about
vacation home.
in how about in terms of design, Nina? Like, have you noticed a difference between so I mean obviously your clients will have had you build their Manila home and then oh we have a house in Tagaytay. Are they more like bahala ka, do what you want, or are they more specific with their requests?
They always want to have a hotel feel home. That's the very, very common request. They always want us to design a space wherein when they enter Dao, they feel like they paid for a resort, or they, like that feel like
Mm.
feels like a hotel, feels like a luxury room or what. So yeah, ano ba? That's their common request. It has to
In
look
terms
and
of
feel
budget,
budget.
do they do they
Iba-iba,
spend
Nikki.
more for the vacation home or not really?
When they're so happy with the interiors, they don't go out na eh. So talagang they feel
Yeah.
like sulit what they're paying because it's like a permanent vacation home. You know what I mean? As compared, yun lang. I guess what they'll miss is a restaurant and room service, but
Yeah.
they never there is syempre there's a bit of an additional budget when you're designing out of town because you transport materials from Manila
Yeah.
that you can in the
Logistics are more
provinces.
expensive.
Correct.
That's
Logistics.
right.
Those are the realities. We've designed a house in La Union and it's on top of a hill. So it
Mm-hmm.
was so hard to bring all the furniture up and down because it was so steep. Things like that.
Yeah.
And one trip of a truck from Manila to La Union costs a lot, diba? It's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
25,000 for a truck. So yeah, all these things, all these factors. But in the because that's their retirement home or that's their vacation
Yeah.
home where all their kids and grandkids will grow up. So what are you paying for really? It's
Yeah.
all these memories and quality time with your
That's right.
family.
I think,
Grabe, Brian, sana tayo rin may vacation
oo nga,
home.
oo nga.
Ay, si Brian, di ko alam. Baka ako lang
Wala,
yon.
wala rin ako. No, but I think based on what we see, Nina, parang I like what you said na, people want a slower pace. Parang pag nasa
Yeah.
bahay, parang, you can focus, you can get lost in in doing something in your house, like specifically now, so you kind of forget about, GCQ, ECQ, MECQ, yung mga ganyan, nakakalimutan mo yan eh. Parang
Right.
that's the beauty and the magic of design, and what Nina does is parang you get to forget the everyday problems. You get lost in your home, whether you're, I think, in the city or
Mm-hmm.
in your vacation home. It's the same parang common theme. Ako kasi what I see now, um, we're one of the lucky industries na madaming nagpapagawa pa rin ng bahay, nagre-renovate, precisely because parang nala-lockdown tayo sa bahay.
Right.
Um,
Same.
but
Yeah.
I see a lot of clients na they would invest a lot in their vacation home because now, instead of going once a month, parang they're there half of the
Half
year
the year.
or
That's right.
more. So parang they have to emulate what they have in their main home doon sa vacation home. Kailangan malakas yung internet. Kailangan may pang homeschool area. Di ba? Parang
Mm-hmm.
yan yung function eh. And then
Mm-hmm.
the houses naman in Manila, parang since you don't have the luxury of having a sea view or a mountain view, or you can't be on a hilltop, parang yan yung magic ng design. Parang you have to feel like you're in a resort.
Yeah,
Diba?
and we've found many ways to achieve that actually, Bri. If you don't have a lot, not everybody naman has a property by the beach, diba? Or
Yeah.
hillside. So if you're living in the city, we're doing a house now in the middle of or Pasig, and what they did was they really built with what they used, what they have. We built vertically.
Mm.
There's a roof garden. There's a roof garden. It's like maybe 3 or 4 floors. So there's a roof garden. There's a lot of pocket uh garden and ponds like inside the, like mini areas where you could put the water feature. Maybe
Nice.
put herb garden in the, like, outside the kitchen, bigger lawn, all these things. What you mentioned kanina, di ba, in the modularity video, home gym, ano pa ba, online schooling room, and also a lot of requests for man cave. Kasi yung mga head of the household that used to go to the office
Yung mga
every day
takas.
and just go home at
Correct.
night, parang nararattle sila na, ha, every day, the kids. So they request for a private space. So hence the proliferation of the man cave now in homes. And it's about just also finding a place nga to get lost in, like just your own little
Yeah.
nook, even if it's just a reading corner, or just
Yeah.
a bathroom that's nice that you can soak in a tub in, or what. It's really about maximizing the space, and finding out what's the most optimal way to to use this.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi naman
Yeah.
lahat ay luxury of big space. So it's really just finding for
That's
kids,
right.
diba? Even if it's room sharing, how are you gonna design it for kids wherein they have their own little corner, they each have their
Mm.
storage boxes for their toys, and their own study desks, even if it's a shared space. So that's all,
Yeah.
like, the magic of design. Interior designers are trained to do that. Space planning, furniture design, zoning. It's like zoning of
Mm-hmm.
spaces.
It's really also about parang creating a feeling, no? Because sometimes
Yeah.
your clients will just go to you and tell you, this is what I want to feel when I get home.
Right.
And, it's up to the designer to figure it out, how
Oh,
to make that work.
yeah.
But,
Even if it's just a little mini bar in a lanai, sobrang hit
yeah.
na yon. You
Yeah.
just unwind
Oo.
there at the day. Kasi we can't go into bars and restaurants, diba? Bars and
Correct.
restaurants, and what's this? We can't travel basically as much.
Yeah.
Don't wanna. So all of these things that were taken from us from our old life, these are trying to
Mhm.
be translated, or inserted into the homes now. Yung
Yes.
yung
Right.
travel, gym, spa,
Yeah.
air, what's this, restaurant, cafe
Mm-mm.
life, those shopping, even shopping, diba? We can't shop
Online.
or so. Hence the online shopping sites now that
Yeah.
Yeah.
filled up our lockdown, including mine.
Well, since we're daydreaming anyway, sala na natin yung ating audience members. To
Yes.
guys who are online now and listening to our conversation, we just want to know where you would like to build your dream vacation rest home. So we're having a little poll. This is really just for fun. Uh, so yeah, so we want to know where you would like to build your dream vacation or your rest home. So your choices are the beach, the mountains, the farm or province, or still within the city. So think of it as like parang like a halfway home, second home. So again, that's A, the beach, B, the mountains, C, the farm, or D, within the city. Nina, where would you build your dream
Ano po yan?
vacation home?
Nako, pwede ba
Sa
all?
gitna ng dagat.
Sa ilalim, underwater.
Ano ba yan? Okay, my answer would be the mountains because
Really?
I'm a beach person, but
Yeah, you're
also
a surfer.
I am. Oh, I love the beach. I love surfing. In fact, Brian knows this, and I'm semi-based in La Union now, and
Yeah.
my place is really in front of the water. I guess the mountains, but in spite of that, I would like to live in the mountains. One, because it's cooler. Parang it's cooler,
Yes.
and there's like less chances. Oh, I call it crazy, but parang syempre you don't want to be when there's a storm. You know, when there's a storm and
Yeah.
you don't want to be like scared that there's like a storm surge or something. And I guess the view also, there's something about
Yeah.
being up there with the trees and you see the ocean. And anyway, it's easy naman to go down to the beach. So I would
Correct.
go for mountain. How about you guys?
Brian,
Ako, to be
where would
honest,
you build your rest
before
house?
the pandemic, parang a luxury would have been parang an apartment close to work or close to parang halfway house,
Mm.
close to the school of my kids. Parang yan yung luxury for me before the pandemic. When we used to travel, parang we'd rather go to cities. Parang Nina, 'di ba, isang beses parang we ran into each other sa Milan. Parang
Oh, in the
mahilig
bus.
in the bus.
Wow,
Mahilig
that's
kami,
so random.
That's
very
so random.
yeah. So, parang mahilig kami sa cities like Tokyo, Singapore, San
Yeah.
Francisco. Parang hindi kami masyado ma-nature. But with the
Mm.
pandemic now, parang I think you sort of have like a mind shift. Parang now you appreciate
Right.
nature more. 'Di ba? So, baka mountain or beach yun ngayon compared to
Yeah.
what it was before. Yeah.
Yeah. Same din ako with Brian. Parang I love structures. Like I would always say, I'm not a backpacker. I'm a suitcase and hotel girl when we travel. But now it's looking like, yeah, a space in the beach or, where there's fresh air. Sounds like a really nice thing. So let's see what everyone's saying. Can we flash our poll results? Let's see. Okay, so everyone wants to go to the beach. To be fair, maganda naman talaga ang beaches natin dito sa
Yeah.
Pilipinas. And I
And,
know a lot of
and you
people
can
who are building by the
right,
beach.
Yeah.
right. And you can have a comfortable, elegant house by the beach. Ha? It doesn't have to be all,
Yes.
parang rustic. Wow, like our
Mm-mm.
coastlines there are really nice houses out there. It can be very
That's right.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can dream. But for
Yes, we
now,
can.
while we are swooning over the idea of vacation houses, we will also be giving away a Sonos Roam speaker. So, mayroon na naman sa Spotify ng mga beach sounds. And this is
Right.
brought to you by Mod Audio Philippines. The winner will be announced tomorrow, but for our new attendees, we're giving everyone a chance to still join. So again, mechanics are pretty simple. If you're tuning in just now, all you have to do is follow at Modularity Home and at Mod Audio PH on Instagram and repost this post. We'll be flashing it on the screen. This post on your feed with hashtag ModTalks giveaway and tag Modularity Home and at Mod Audio PH and two friends. So yes, if you missed out on that, the mechanics are on the Modularity Home. Instagram page. Anyway, all right, back to our daydreaming. Brian, let's talk about your working relationship. I mean, you seem like good friends, and you know it's so much fun to work with people that you actually get along with. So I know that you and Nina have a lot of projects. Can you share with us, maybe the most memorable homes that you two have done?
Yeah, we there's a few here that we wanted to talk about. The first is our residence. I think we can flash like some photos
Yeah,
here of our residence. This one is in Pangasinan.
yeah,
Um,
that's in
Mhm.
Pangasinan, in the middle of rice fields.
yeah.
Wow.
So the client, I think, is a good friend of Nina. Um, Dun sila based, diba? Nina, this is their
Yes,
primary.
yes. This is their primary home.
Yeah, so even
Beautiful.
pre-pandemic, ito rin, I think this is one of those houses na, you'd be okay to be locked down in, 'di ba? Fresh
Yeah.
air, rice
Mhm.
fields. Then you have a house like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Ganda.
that's one. Yeah,
Okay. Then this is the kitchen.
this is the kitchen. It's a
Yes.
very, very
Okay.
modern, streamlined kitchen. Um, Normally with Nina, we get cues from her in terms of anong
Mm.
design yung gusto ng client. So, she's one of those
Right.
na she's very hands-on, and then she'll give us direction of, as to what the client wants. Yeah. So young
Very
couple.
This
nice.
one kasi is a, yeah, young couple, and they love to cook,
Mm-hmm.
Nikki. So actually during
Both
the pandemic,
okay.
they created they were able to come up with a business related to cooking. I mean to
Wow.
food.
To
Um
food.
like gourmet tuyo or mga ganyan. But grab it
Yes.
was so successful. I don't know if Brian's kitchen had something to do with that, but it was so successful. Now they have a big commissary and
Wow.
everything. And this was recent. It was a lockdown a pandemic business. But
Yeah.
it's really like they're
Yeah.
distributing all over the country now. And it was just something born out of his kitchen, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
Like
right.
they were experimenting, yeah.
Na ROI na yung
Galing.
kitchen. Nina na
Yeah.
ROI na.
ROI.
Oo nga.
Wow, na-justify.
Dapat mag-bake na rin ako ng mga banana bread sa kitchen ko. Nice.
That,
So that was our residence. Okay.
yeah,
But
this second
I know
one.
you've worked with more.
Yeah, this is a residence. Nina,
Okay.
was this the first
Nina
This is
ever?
likes
the first
white.
one.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
the
Do you
first
It's
like
a
ever.
bit,
white, Nina? Like with
yeah.
kitchens? Are you okay?
Yes.
Is there a reason for why you always pick white? Is there a practical ano, or it's
Uh,
just your aesthetic?
I think I also chance upon clients talaga who want a clean, modern kitchen, and
Mm-mm.
it's really just very pleasant to their eyes to have
Yes.
a kitchen, white walls, and usually the accent will just be on the backsplash. We'll just use
Mm-mm.
either back painted glass or tile or stone.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they want something kasi Nikki that's timeless, na parang they won't
Mm-mm.
tire of it in 10 years, 15 years. So the default, but they always are drawn to white because they feel like
Yeah.
they're not gonna be sawa after, you know,
Yeah.
how
That,
kids.
yung white kitchens, that's very tricky, kasi some people think na, it's a white kitchen, it's basic, 'di ba? Parang okay na kahit sino na lang gumawa or kahit ano na lang. But then this is where you actually see parang the difference of like a brand ex Cavallini, kasi
Yeah.
the function, the mechanisms, 'di ba? That's the difference maker for these parang simple, parang light or white colored kitchens.
Right.
Even the cabinets mismo, and this is from personal experience. Like I've dealt with a white kitchen where after a few years it started to yellow.
Mm.
So parang if you wanna do a white kitchen, you wanna make sure that you're getting
Yeah.
high quality
Materials.
finish material. So
I think you
all
also
right,
have to know the position of your kitchen. If there's like a big
yeah,
window, 'di ba?
yeah, oh
Para
yeah, with the
any
sun.
any kind of paint kasi will eventually might discolor din kahit
That's
papaano.
right. Yeah, yeah.
And lighting.
Okay, let's.
And lighting too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very important things to consider. This one is the T residence.
Yes, we're being careful not to say the names because these are parang very confidential projects. But this tea residence is in the center of the city, diba?
Yes.
In
Yes.
Makati. Um,
Makati. Yeah.
yeah. So
Very
again,
nice.
you see the white tones, pero at the same time, I think you combined it with gray, diba, in this particular kitchen.
This is where the husband comes in. Because usually it's the wife,
Mm,
bright and light and like bleached wood, light gray. Now when you get in this particular project, we really had the husband say his preferences and tell us
yeah,
what he wants. And just to give you an idea, this is like where client nga, different profiles come out.
Yeah.
So the
mm-hmm.
profile is he's involved in very masculine industry like cars, di ba? Parang cars and
Mm,
cars. So he really wanted a little bit of masculinity, I guess, in the
yeah,
kitchen. So he was like, we really had to be the referee. We needed them to come up with a compromise. This came, di
yeah.
ba, actually, Ryan, this had a lot of drafts. Parang
Revisions.
was like revisions. There were like maybe, I don't know, 3, 4 revisions.
Yeah.
Until we agreed on this one, me, the client, uh, because it was a perfect marriage na to them of of the gray and black tones and the white and the tones. But you look at it and you say, okay, it's nice. But if you know the behind the scenes, there's a
Yeah.
lot of talaga marrying of,
Back and
of,
forth.
of back and forth until everyone's happy. So I'm glad to see this build. It's actually up. It's ready
Yeah.
for a turnover. So it's a perfect balance of masculine, feminine, and bright and dark.
Yeah. And I think that client, if I remember correctly, foodie yan eh. Parang he
Yeah.
posts a lot of
Mm,
like different restaurants, yung mga food na kinakain niya, parang he talks about it. So he,
Right.
probably cooks or probably, knows his way around the kitchen. Tapos his
yeah.
business is parang related to high-end parang car parts, I think.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
they also bring in parang high-end office chairs that's related to yung Recaro na brand. So parang that
Mm-hmm.
used to
Right.
be for
Right.
racing chairs lang, pero parang they delved into office chairs. So para I think this client parang knows alam niya aesthetic niya. Very
And they know
particular.
quality.
Yeah,
They're particular with quality also.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
I think this
Technical question. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
go ahead, Nick. Go ahead. I was gonna jump into the
I
next
was
one.
just
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask first, like, if Nina, you had a preference in terms of like, are you partial to open shelving, or do you prefer closed? Like, if it were completely up to you as a
Up to me.
designer. Mm-mm.
Honestly, I would go for toast. A lot, like
Closed.
probably more toast, and then just like a few open shelves just for easy access items, like maybe cookbooks or
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Decorative.
Decorative items, or maybe you can put a clock there, like a nice plant, just to break all the closed cabinets. But I do prefer closed because it's tidier, and you're not to
Yeah,
keep fixing what's on the shelves or the cabinets, because you can just really
yeah,
close it.
that's
So I
right.
guess if you just, because I always look at interiors from like an editorial. I also contributed. I was like a stylist for home magazines for a long time. So ganun yung training ko. Laging parang
Mm.
at photo shoot ready. Parang medyo editorial.
Yes.
Oo. Uh, like I guess that's why I prefer closed. So that it's just like at any given time during the day when you enter the kitchen, it's just clean.
Malinis.
Hindi
Yeah.
yung, ay, may bisita. Tago niyo yung mga kalat.
Correct.
So it's always just there. But like I said, it's nice to break it up a bit with a few open shelves just for like, decorative purposes. But
Yeah.
practically in the Philippines, I'd
Right.
rather it's on a closed.
It's
Yeah.
also more hygienic, I think.
Yeah.
All
Also,
right, let's
Yeah.
move. Yeah. Sige, let's move on to the L residence. Very different from the other stuff that you've worked on.
Nina, do you
Yeah,
want?
So we
this is
have a
modern classic. Yeah. Okay, this is
mm,
more of a retirement home than a vacation home because this is also still right
okay.
smack in the city. But like I
Mm-hmm.
said, senior citizens are my clients are already in their senior years, the golden years. So, uh, again, it's all about like a slower pace of life. A more
Yeah.
genteel approach to how furniture are arranged, and it's like more welcoming their family members, their apos, diba, their grandchildren,
Mm-hmm.
having Sunday dinners, lunches. Uh, this one, the kitchen that we designed for this is in tune with the theme of the house, which is more of like classic contemporary style. Brian,
Yeah.
this is Baccarat,
Yes.
Baccarat,
This is.
Baccarat collection, and I'm kind of proud that I think we're the first to use this
Yeah.
in the Philippines. Oo.
Correct.
So nag-enjoy kami ni Brian designing this because it had all these really nice features. If you notice, there are like flutings on the on the corners and in between the
Yeah.
cabinet. There's like a
Lots of
lattice work
detail.
design on
Mm-hmm.
lots of detail, a lattice work design on the frosted glass. There's like a gold trim, like a brass or a gold trim. Very classic, but also not like it's stuck in a period film somewhere. It's very
Yeah.
Yes.
in yung itsura. Very
Hindi siya
clean,
dated. Yeah, it doesn't
hindi
look
siya dated.
dated.
It doesn't look dated, doesn't look heavy. Again, my
Mm-hmm.
tendency to use white. Um, I was so glad that there was this model was available. Just the gold to accentuate all that white. Uh, what else? Like yeah, and then even this feature. I don't know if you can show it, Bri, but I was so particularly fond of this feature, like the spice rack, that when you these brown flutings, it is actually a spice rack. So there's all these very practical storage
Yeah.
solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And
Nice,
again,
nice.
with the furniture, I didn't want it to look too classic. So we mixed it
Yeah.
with very modern dining. This is like just their breakfast nook. This isn't really their dining.
yeah.
So it's really about finding that balance so that you come up with a really
Mm-hmm.
pleasant interior, hitting both again the classic and the contemporary and the modern.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
one of my favorite kitchens that I've worked on, honestly.
Ako din. This is also one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
And when we shared this with Scavolini in Italy, they really liked it as well. So parang these are some projects na when we present it to our principals in Italy, parang they see the talent and the parang the uplifted parang level of design that we have in the Philippines. So we wanted them to feature this also in Italy, and we sent the photos. We took professional photos of the kitchen. So parang we're very excited about this one. Um, and
Yeah.
if you notice, parang it's really mixing the aesthetic with technology. So
Mhm.
those the brown portion there, it looks like it's just a border, but as Nina was saying, if you press that gold button, you can pull out
Yeah.
a spice rack. So it's also functional. And then at the
Mhm.
same time, you don't have to use classical looking appliances nowadays anymore.
Right.
You
Right.
use
Mhm.
parang modern appliances that have all the technological features, um, and then combine it with a classical looking kitchen. It looks perfect. And then of course what Nina was saying, combining it with modern furniture, 'di ba? Hindi siya mukhang
And also art pieces. This is even here we put a couple of paintings, two or three paintings, yeah, just to soften it up. There's a lot of hard
Mm-mm.
surfaces in it on wood. So we like putting some paintings from the client's collection and put some flowers. I mean, yeah, it's really it doesn't
Ah,
stop with just the kitchen. We need to accessorize it a
yeah.
bit.
Nina, ngayon ko lang na-notice, yung door going to the dirty kitchen ba yun?
Yes.
You did the same glass pattern as the wall cabinets, yung naka-cross.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I
I
see
made
it. The
the
art.
right. Right.
Yeah, the art. Yeah.
Okay,
Parang hindi ko lang
okay.
We
napansin yun.
Yeah, because we copied the baccarat design so that it just like will
Galing.
tie together with everything.
That's right.
Those are the little details.
Yeah.
And many people don't be. I think it's because it's a preference these days. Parang when people go to Scavolini, they automatically pick a modern, more modern aesthetic. But Scavolini actually does classic very well.
Yeah.
Right,
Correct.
I agree. Meron pa ring streamlined touch to
Yeah.
their classic
Yeah.
look.
There are different levels. Meron super classic, meron, 'di ba? Transitional.
Tipong gold na yung
Yeah,
ano,
meron.
range hood.
No, kasi it's Seven being the biggest kitchen maker in the world, specifically
Yeah,
from Italy, parang they have to cater to different markets in Russia or
that's
Middle
right.
East, 'di ba? Or 'di ba
Yeah.
may ganun requirements. So which gives us the flexibility nga Nina kung meron tayong client na like for this particular one, yun L residents,
Right.
they know the aesthetic na that they want. This is probably their, I
Yeah.
don't know, fourth, fifth, sixth house na siguro, di ba? By
Right.
that
Mm-mm.
time, they
Mm,
know what they want na. So,
Yeah.
it would be good.
That's right. That's really like they showed me a lot of photos from their travels.
Yeah,
Um, it was very consistent. Images help talaga.
yeah.
It was very consistent. All the hotels they stayed in before,
yeah,
it was like that. Russia, Croatia. We like this look,
Mm-mm.
the wainscoting, the moldings, so okay, let's do
Yeah.
that look. I wonder if there's a kitchen that can that can um design so that we can use that has this look. So buti na lang Brian has. Maybe do you have a lot of requirements ng classical rice? It becoming popular also.
yeah, meron din. Not this specific look, pero like yung mga shabby chic, yung mga medyo
Right.
Mm,
semi-industrial pero may feminine
mm-mm.
touches. So I think the more specific the clients are, parang the easier our jobs will be. Diba? Kasi
Yeah.
kung sinabi na nila, that this is the look that they're looking for, then, and at the same time, like if we work with open-minded designers like Nina, parang she'll give us the profile, ano yung gusto ng client, diba? She'll give us the requirement. And then parang we will propose maybe two or three different designs and then Nina can choose.
Yeah.
Sometimes kasi, the designers or architects, they have something in mind that's super specific, without considering na meron palang ganito. So that's
Mm-mm.
what I appreciate with Nina is parang it's a very open communication in terms of what the client wants, and so it's a good collaboration between the two of us.
Speaking of
I agree.
the different wants of different clients, and I'm sure you guys have had your you've experienced all of these different needs and tastes. Maybe Brian, you can kind of like talk us through what's available right now. Like, we're talking about whatever it is that you want, as long as you can give us a clear picture of what it is. You can try both designer and modularity home, can bring it to life. So maybe you can kind of like show us what you have right now, any new things that you might want to share with us. Maybe we can start with the evolution kitchen,
Sige, sure. Um,
which we will be.
the most
There you go.
the
Ang
stereotype,
ganda.
yeah, that
Oo,
it's
ganda.
yeah.
Yan
this
na
this
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
this
yung
is probably our best selling model, whether it's in Manila or out of town. It's streamlined, walang handles. Um,
Yeah.
maybe a good 20% or 15% of open shelving is healthy for me. Kasi, outside of that, baka madami ng kailangan linisin or, as Nina was saying, kailangan presentable. But in this particular shelving system, forces you to put just the bare necessities na nakalabas.
Yeah.
Right beside the cooking, parang you put your spices there. You can put your iPad if you watch cooking shows. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of budget, parang this is not that expensive. The real
Mm-hmm.
expensive or not is relative naman eh. Pero with respect to the Scavolini line, this is our most one of our most best-selling ones because yun nga, it's priced competitively.
I
Yeah.
see. All right. And then we have the Box Life Guest House.
Yeah. So yun Box Life is a collaboration with Rainlight Studio, um, which is an arm of HOK, one of the bigger architectural firms in the US. They
Mm-hmm.
created this, parang the concept is nasa loob ka na isang box. Diba? This is even before pre-pandemic. Inside the box, you have closed cabinets, but when you open it up, parang it can be a laundry system or a bed or
Wow.
um,
So cool.
parang
Mm,
kitchen. So parang you have to get lost into in the design when you're not using these
yeah.
things. Generally, I think Nina, we work with architect Ed Calma often. Gusto niya
Right.
nagdi-disappear yung cabinetry eh. Parang he
Gusto
doesn't
niya,
want oh,
Nakatago. Pader lang.
right.
yeah,
Oo.
it's not just the aesthetic eh, kasi we know he minimalist yung gusto niya, pero it's also the
Yeah.
function na cabinets should
Mm-hmm.
not be in your face. Diba? You
Right.
should
Mm,
feel na parang it's there
Disappear.
but it disappears when you don't need it. So yan yung concept ng box life.
Oo. It's actually a good way for, we also do that a lot kasi minsan you don't want to feel like you're walking into a lot of, like in a cabinet showroom, di ba?
Ah, yeah, yeah.
So there are many
yeah.
ways naman to kind of adjust the design. I
Yeah.
noticed also the wood color is becoming a popular choice. This parang natural wood finish
Tama.
on your.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess because there was like that Scandinavian trend, diba, that look. So everybody suddenly wants natural finish, lighter wood
Yeah.
finishes. But gone are the days na it was just all walnut or
Walnut.
wenge. Yeah,
Correct. Wenge.
Daming wood.
yeah,
Dark
wenge,
talaga.
the Zen look.
Yeah.
How
I
about
guess.
the Diesel Open Workshop Kitchen? This one though is a bit more, if I remember correctly, more
I love
industrial. Is
that.
it the one?
Yes.
Oh,
So
parang this is different. Okay.
this is one of my favorite ones because of the
Me
personality,
also.
'di ba? Parang
Yeah.
Okay.
yun na, if you put this in a city home or a condo, it gives you so much personality. And at the same time, if you put
Yeah.
it in a beach house, parang bagay na bagay naman siya dun. So it's
Pasok pa din.
very versatile. I think it's because of the philosophy of Diesel, 'di ba, the brand. Um, medyo aligned siya kay Nina na parang chill, 'di ba?
I love
Parang
this. This is my favorite, one of my favorite models. So medyo rock and roll siya eh, di ba? With it's
yeah,
like just kind of like
Yeah.
the ano to, the framework sticking out, and ang odd no yung color niya. It's this olive green but and even the
yeah,
metal finish, di ba? Very
bronze metal.
cool. It's
Yeah,
like Brian, what Brian said, you could put it in the middle of in a city home. Could put it in a vacation home. This is ideal actually for vacation homes. Eh.
mm,
Kasi 'di ba, it's like more everyone wants access to the kitchen,
Yeah.
everyone's coming in from the pool. 'Di ba parang ganon? Everyone's walking around dripping in their swimsuit. So it's not so maselan yung itsura niya.
Correct.
Not so like you
Correct.
can be a bit rugged around it. Yeah.
yeah.
How
And
about
then
the Formalia kitchen? Let's take a look at the Formalia kitchen.
so the Formalia kitchen parang marries the Diesel Open Workshop look with
Mm-hmm.
something like the Evolution. This is their
Okay.
60th year anniversary parang model, which parang it confirms lang na the trend worldwide is that we're going sort of industrial in a way, but still
Mm-hmm.
with modern touches. So this is the Formalia kitchen. You see, the island looks like it's elevated. You see those
Yeah.
open shelving underneath the island. Parang yan yung main feature niya.
Nice. How about the
Madaling
Favela kitchen?
walisin. Easy to
Correct.
mop.
True.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Favela. Am I saying it right? Favela
Favela.
kitchen?
Yeah.
Favela.
So
Yes.
ito yun, Nina. Ito yung
Like,
sinasabi ko na medyo classic but at the same
yeah,
time um, mas
on the
feminine
country.
on the
Oo,
countries. Di ba?
Yes.
Super country, parang
right.
it was created.
Provence na siya halos Provence na yung look niya.
Yeah. Hindi
Correct.
the function, yun, di ba, yun sa left and yun sa right side ng photo. Parang,
Right.
what do you
But
call
there's a
this?
market for that. There's a market for that. I have
Yeah.
clients
Yeah.
who like,
Who will look for this?
oo.
Parang, parang meron kaming clients na, they use this for Tagaytay
Right.
or Baguio.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Exactly. For those who want Filipino style, parang
Mhm.
yung ganon, parang it's the closest thing kasi to parang Filipino style kitchen, yung mukhang medyo
Yeah.
ancestral ng
Yeah.
Correct.
You
Nice,
get
nice.
you get that look na parang ancestral but at the same time you still it's still all Scavellini and it's yung mechanisms niya matibay lahat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of matibay, let's talk about materials. You have the Valcucina glass and the Riquilantica. Am I
Yeah.
saying it right? Richilantica steel. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
So, Valcocine, Nina, wala pa tayo yatang Valcocine, no, together.
Wala pa.
Yeah.
Antayin natin.
For every maybe for every 20 or 30 kitchens we sell, parang we sell one Valcocine. It's not because parang all these features and the material, parang it becomes really quite expensive.
Yeah.
So parang it's in a class by itself, up there. Pero when I visited Valcocine in Venice, kasi they're known for glass, I really saw the difference. Parang now I know bakit siya ganun kamahal. So that whole system at the back where you can access everything, you don't see it here, pero that door above closes with like a 4 meter wide glass panel, tapos bababa siya. So parang this is
Wow.
the beauty of Valcocines. So when people really cook, medyo marami-raming parang food business dapat yata para mo ROI ito, Nina. Pero
I feel
for
like the client profile, ang nakikita ko na client na na makaka-appreciate yan, who'd be willing to have a kitchen like that. It's beautiful, but not for everyone eh. It has to be maybe a chef.
Yeah.
Alam mo yon, like maybe somebody in the profession talaga of cooking who can
Yeah.
appreciate that and won't be scared to. Kasi that's glass, di ba, Brian? That parang the one that closes on top. Is it
Yeah.
glass?
It's glass.
Di ba?
It's glass.
Somebody who really handle it with care and not
Yeah.
like, I think somebody from the profession or can appreciate talaga like good quality
Yeah.
and style. Na
I
ano.
think this
Hindi
is
siya pang family with toddlers.
Oo eh. Oo.
Hindi pwede.
no, but
Diba? Pampiprito mo lang, depende rin like sa use. Prito-prito ka lang, sayang naman.
Correct. Oo.
Kailangan may ano ka.
pero
Sayang.
Parang
based on what we see, parang I think because the property values are really expensive now, like in the city, you'd see houses na $500 million na yung lot pa lang eh. Diba? So parang proportion to that, parang this kitchen is not really that expensive.
yeah.
If you're gonna use it for 25, 30, 40 years, parang it's really a good investment.
It's fine.
And I think
Yeah.
this is the new luxury. You can't
Mm-mm.
parang buy vacation sa Amanpulo, diba, or sa ibang bansa na sobrang mahal because we can't travel. So parang we
Yeah.
see a lot of people invest in these kitchens now.
Yeah.
Useless na rin
Same
bumili.
goes for,
Yeah.
I
Diba?
was just gonna say, same goes for like, dati like let's say the wives would be like nagging their husbands na why are you buying such expensive sound system? Like but ang TV, speaker, ano ba yan? You could just like spend it on. But now, they totally understand na, okay, it's worth spending on good TV, good speakers, good sound system because
Correct.
everybody in the home benefits from this and
Yeah.
happy
That's
pa
right.
yung head of the household or something. But I mean, this is like
Yeah.
what Brian is saying. what are you paying for, di ba? The
Yeah.
harmony of home. That's what you're trying
Correct.
to give.
Pero
Harmony and ano.
this is, it looks maselan because of how it looks, pero I use it personally, matibay siya. So it's highly recommended also. I think in other countries like people like Elton John, Madonna, yan yung kitchen nila. So
Really, but
Balcocino.
wow.
If
Wow.
you have clients who are looking for something else or above and beyond, ito yung magandang kitchen na gamitin.
Mm-hmm.
The clients so far who bought this or who chose these kitchens, parang they travel a lot and they see the Valcucina showroom abroad. So when they come home, they
Mm.
find out na, oh, modularity home carries it pala. So we don't really
Yeah.
have to market it that much. Yeah.
How about the Richelantica steel? I This is the first time I'm hearing about this. Can you tell us a bit more?
Sure. So yeah, so outside of glass, Valcucina also does different materials. In this particular case, the cabinet doors underneath the counter, these are all stainless steel. Um,
Okay.
and then, the stainless steel is very thin. It's 2 mm lang, super thin. And then it comes with an aluminum frame behind the steel panel. So, for people who really cook or gusto nila completely waterproof, parang this is a good solution for
Mm-hmm.
them. So for beach houses, meron, as we discussed earlier, parang there are certain clients who parang swap na yung main house na nila yung beach house. So they invested in something
Yeah.
like
How about kitchen accessories? Let's talk about kitchen accessories. Kasi parang these are the little, I mean, at least for me,
yeah.
for a wife who likes to play around in the kitchen, parang I get so kilig when, all of these tiny details are present. Maybe we can take a look at the kitchen accessories that you have right now.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
you
So
go.
syempre we start with
See, there's a place for everything.
correct. We start with these cutlery organizers, whether you have a lot of knives or spices, diba? On the photo on the right side, parang you have a dispenser for your foil or saran wrap, diba? Para lahat alam mo na kung saan.
Galing. Correct.
Uh,
Very nice. Oh, I like
Yeah,
this.
that's non-negotiable. Yung mga pull-out trash cans in our projects, that's
Mm-mm.
really the clients really look for this. And it's
yeah.
like such a basic need na it's just great that it can be organized that way.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
new one, Nina, that I want to introduce is the one on the left side. Because it has its own module. So one of the cabinets under the counter is really a trash bin. And then you
Mm.
notice there, parang there's a shelf inside. So when you push it
Mm-mm.
in,
All right.
nakasara
It's
siya.
sealed.
It's sealed.
Right.
And
Nice.
Oo.
with the
It,
handles, you can pull it out and then throw the trash. So I think this is very important kasi,
I
rather than
agree.
having a trash can outside, diba?
Mm-mm.
Mas maganda to
Correct.
tignan. The more traditional one for us is the one under the sink, which is the photo on the right side.
Right.
Nice, nice. Okay, let's move on to closets. Okay, yeah. So this is more. These are more
Corner.
accessories.
Yeah, there's one corner mechanism, yung parang pantry. That's also new for us.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
Nice.
So before we move on to the closets lang, this is like a nice walk-in pantry or walk-in closet that's integrated into your kitchen. Feels like it's just a cabinet, pero you can
Mm-mm.
put like your laundry system in there kung condo siya, diba? Or you can put like
Nice.
shelving para may pantry ka na. You don't have to do a separate structure for the pantry, which is very traditional for yeah.
Yan na
Yeah.
yung dream. Yan ang dream space ng lahat ng mga friends ko ngayon. We're in that age group now. Like that's their dream space. Like a proper
Dream
laundry
laundry
folding
area.
room. Mm-mm.
Correct. 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 How
Yeah.
about closets? Now we can move on to closets. This is the Pianka
Yeah. So
closet we're
Bianca is
looking at.
another brand, one of our latest brands that we carry. And itong Verona closet is their most recent one. Um, kasi may demand for yung look that's not so modern. So you see these frame doors. I think that's the main characteristic of Verona. Yeah. And then yung
Nice.
Amalfi, parang this one naman is for parang work from home situations. Um, you see the exposed hinges. It's not because we want to expose it. It's because you can open those doors 180 degrees. Um, do we have a
Mm.
photo showing that?
Of it open. Let's
Yeah.
see. Very
Anyway,
nice.
yeah, it opens 180 degrees, and then usually there's a built-in office inside. Yun din para everything disappears.
Oh,
Yeah. So these are the latest para
correct, correct.
trends that we follow or that they created
All
for us.
right. I think we have a few more. We take a look at the bathroom and uh the gym space, which is
Yeah, yun.
becoming a very important part
Kailangan
of
magandang
the
thinking,
lockdown
diba?
home.
Kung may space ka sa bahay for this.
Oo nga eh. If only.
Actually, yan talaga yung people really started finding whatever spare space in the house to insert, workout equipment. Even if it's just like a
Correct.
spare room or lanai or terrace,
Yeah.
or like me in my case, in my place in La Union, it's just a one bedroom, but like I just push some furniture to the walls, and then yan na may workout space na ako. But I mean, that's how it is now talaga eh. This is really
Yeah.
doesn't matter how big or small your space is. People are gonna want to have a space to, work out or stretch, and yeah, even if it's like that, there's a small wall.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Garages are being turned into workout
Turned into
space.
gyms. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
garages.
Ay, iba na talaga. Well,
Oo.
so there you have it. For those of you at home, I hope you were able to catch that roster of really amazing innovations. Um, and at this point, I think we have a lot of questions coming in for Nina. Maybe
Wow,
we'll
cool.
jump, yes, jump to our Q&A, which is really like a part of the webinar that our audience members look forward to. But before that, again, giveaway reminder: we're giving away Sonos Roam speakers brought to you by Mod Audio Philippines. Mechanics are on Instagram, on the Instagram page of Modularity Home and Mod Audio. So yes, let's get started with our question and answer. Let's begin with my question. That's right. Me pala. I always ask this. Um, I always ask everyone I interview, regardless of whether they're an architect or an interior designer, I want to know what, Nina, is your design pet peeve? Like, you see it done and then it just makes you cringe.
Okay, can I just say, it's like pillows that are arranged in like that diamond pattern.
Naka-angle
Yung
na
mga
gano'n.
naka-diamond, like when you enter, like it's such a nice house, and it's expensive furniture, it's really nice furniture. Then all the throw pillows are naka-diamond. I hate that. It's so petty, but minsan pag hindi nakatingin yung client, inaayos ko.
Ayos.
A lot of
Okay.
designers you'll talk to will also like say that. Kasi
We'll
it's like
say
very
that.
odd, di ba? Why are you making the pillow balance on a tip when it's supposed to be like, di ba?
But how about how when you style a space with a throw pillow, parang they karate chop
Chop
the
it.
middle.
Actually, I
Yeah.
do that.
Do,
I do
do
that.
you like this? Is it a good thing or not a cool thing?
It's a
I want to
good thing
know. It's a
because
good
I
thing.
I
Okay.
I did a lot of styling for magazines, and in the pictures it has to look kind of lived in a bit. So that's how
Yeah.
you kind of flop it, and then you kind of like put it in the like kind of like do that in the middle. That's okay kasi it's very realistic, 'di ba? Na it's
Yeah,
like it looks
yeah.
like you sat down on it and then you left it like that. So medyo okay lang
Correct.
'yon. Medyo nagki-cringe lang
Correct.
ako dun sa diagonally placed
Diamond.
square pillows. Kasi parang
Okay,
nagbabalance siya
okay.
on the
Pwede namang hindi.
Pwede namang hindi. Or mag-round pillow ka na lang, di ba?
Correct, correct.
Also,
Okay. So we have another question. Brian, you can prepare a question if you'd like. Pag meron pa tayong time, we'll get to you. But here, this is coming from Carmen Cruz. She says, any tips for dealing with difficult clients? Do you have a horror story and how did you solve the problem? I'm sure.
Mag-mute muna ako, Nina. Mag-mute muna ako, ah.
it's
Parang
very
shared
common.
story ito ah.
No, it's very common naman for designers to come across clients with difficult requests or clashing, different family members clashing personalities and ganyan. But I guess at my from my very first few projects, I was already exposed to that, and it's really a matter of keeping bringing it back to the work. So if they're like fighting over something, you just have to remind them there's a compromise. There's a way to work around this. We're trained to be
Yeah,
problem solvers. Um,
correct.
minsan marriage counselor and then problem solvers kami. So there's really we just tell them like don't fret about this.
Yeah.
Not naman like don't overreact, but don't have to panic about it because there's a way around it. Just give me time to figure this out so that you both of you can be happy with the space or ano ba yung mga horror clients. It's mostly
Like have you ever backed out of a project? Like it's gotten so bad you had to
actually
back
yes.
out of a project. Oh.
Yeah, because this was a very difficult client and she has a reputation talaga. I
Mm-hmm.
was starting out long ago, maybe more than 10 years ago na to. But the thing was, Nikki, and this is to remind in all the interior designers out there or the ones starting out, we were already being
Mm-hmm.
asked to like design the whole. It was like a resort, like a mountainside resort. We were already being asked to design the resort and without them signing the contract or talking about down payments. I was very young,
Yeah.
so I was also trying to jump at the opportunity to have this project because I
Mm-mm.
wanted to do it, but
Yeah.
also I felt like I was being taken advantage of because why am I being asked to submit all of these designs with a
Yeah.
timeline and brought there and we were already being consulted with so many areas until I realized and I think this is not a good start because they
Yeah.
didn't want us to be signed on before they asked us to
They
work.
don't want to commit. Yeah, yeah.
So I guess I backed out. I wrote them a letter
Kasi
na
it'll be so easy for them to take your designs and then find
exactly
someone cheaper to do it.
Medyo
exactly
extreme,
and
medyo extreme na yun, Nina. That's on
right.
the extreme side. I think in general, construction is really stressful, diba, Nina?
Yeah.
Especially for people who've never experienced it before.
Done it before. Yeah.
Parang parang it's our job then to try to pacify or try to explain things na oh ganun talaga, 'di ba? Parang it's
Mm-mm. There's
never
Right.
protocol.
yeah,
And
there's
also
a
to kind of
process
like
timeline. Yeah.
to to put this to like not make them kasi sometimes clients panic, 'di ba na
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
okay, why does this not look nice? Why is the place dirty? Why? But you have to tell them this is a construct you're still in the construction phase. So expect that it's dirty,
Mm-mm.
expect that it's magulo, expect that it's ganyan. But if you've already been designing or working for a certain number of years, you can confidently say na in 2 weeks you come back and you'll see this
Yeah.
differently or that this will be a better you'll expect to see a nicer space or expect that everything is installed
Yeah.
and you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
recognize it as a kitchen or a what. Kasi that's our job din to kind of remind them of the how construction works and how
Yeah.
design
Yeah,
works.
that's right.
So
There's a really good question here.
mm,
And it's addressed to everyone. So Brian, you can weigh in if you'd like. He says, "Hi speakers." This is coming from Miguel. He says, "Hi speakers. Let's say we've created the ideal space or home. How do you manage design fatigue? Is there an anti-sawa trick? I just wanted to know your advice on how to deal with that feeling when and if it comes." This is so true.
that's a great question. Yeah. Okay, well, can I answer first, Bri?
Yeah, sure, Nina.
Yeah, well, design fatigue is it's a real thing na
Yeah.
I don't want, how do I say this without, okay, you know how when people try to design their own space and then just take everything from Pinterest, you know what I mean? Like whatever,
Mm,
everything that's uso, everything that's on like
on
what's trending
trend.
on Instagram, or yeah, and then they just all parang dump it in the room. Everything, the industrial lights, the subway tile, the like this, like that. And then parang that means you didn't think about what you need in this space. You just really kind of used what was uso so that you have instant eye candy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then you're using the space already, but then it's not moving with you, it's not answering your needs. You don't have proper, you can't move around, you can't you wake up,
Mm,
you're busy yung visuals ng room, there's too much going on, then you get design fatigue. So again, don't rely on just trends or
mm,
what you see, and what you see that's working for cafe designs or restaurant designs might not work for you if you're trying to design
that's
your
right.
bedroom. So
Mm-mm.
don't use all of these elements that you see outside and use it in like a bedroom or a living room. It's not, it doesn't work that way. Consult a professional, or really just
Yeah.
you're trying to do it yourself, just keep things a bit neutral and flexible, diba? And think about the function first. It's not all about what looks nice, what's Instagrammable.
Yeah.
It's about
Correct.
studying what you need, and just keeping it simple. Actually, simplify talaga eh. Like
Mm-mm.
the designs that Brian has been flashing since kanina are really quite, it's, you think it's attractive because it's simple. But then when you
Yeah.
zoom in, the details are there. Diba? The
Yeah.
lighting, the accessories, the materials. So same with designing spaces to avoid that design fatigue. It's go into the
Mm.
details, but keep things a bit simple.
Yeah. I was gonna say for yeah, go ahead, Brian.
I agree with Nina. And then parang relating it to the kitchen. Um, I wouldn't commit to certain appliances, for example, na dahil uso lang siya. For example, before,
Mm-mm.
usong-uso yung built-in coffee machine. So,
Yeah.
Correct.
kung usong-uso yung built-in coffee machine, wow, you have a built-in coffee machine, 300,000, naka-selpak dun sa kitchen mo. And then, after 2, 3 years, parang naging
May
uso na
bagong
yung
model.
espresso. Espresso na yung uso. Diba? Because it's so
Correct.
simple. You get
Yeah.
mug, you get capsules,
Yeah.
you just plug it in. So what do you do with that 300,000 peso built-in coffee machine? Parang it becomes
Mm-mm.
an eyesore. Yun yung design fatigue for me in my particular industry sa kitchens. Diba? So
Yeah.
parang, think before you, hindi dahil uso lang, parang you put it there para aesthetically, pwede mo sabihin, oh, I have that built-in coffee machine. But,
Yeah.
think long term also, parang sometimes more counter space is better than all these built-in stuff if you don't really plan to use it, diba?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a great
Yeah.
question. Ang
Agree.
galing no.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oo nga.
Very good
Because it's
question.
real.
Yeah.
And I can imagine it was like for me it was a real fear, especially when you're investing in something, a big purchase, something like a kitchen. Parang you
Mm.
want to make
Right.
sure that this is something that you can live with for a really long time. So yeah,
Kaya nga
very good
okay lang
advice.
yung madaming revisions. We appreciate that. Pero
Mm.
sometimes clients come to us, first proposal, second proposal, nag-sign na ng deal. Kinakabahan ako eh. Kasi parang, oh,
Magbabago pa to.
bakit ko approve to? Parang, di ba pwede
Ako ba
pag-isipan pa
ako ba pinariringgan mo,
Hindi,
Brian?
hindi, hindi. Hindi ka. May built-in coffee machine ka ba?
Wala. Wala akong budget.
Pwede namang na-approve. Pwede namang na-approve lang talaga agad, Brian. Pwede namang nagustuhan
Oo
naman
nga.
agad ni Nikki.
Hindi, pero
Natuwa lang talaga
mahirap
agad.
talaga. Kasi sometimes,
Hmm.
we've had experiences na couple sila, mag-asawa sila, pero only
Mhm.
one of them decided on the kitchen. Yun pala,
Yikes.
hindi alam ng partner, whether the husband or the wife, hindi alam. Tapos
Yeah.
habang nag-install na, ayoko yan. Parang, okay.
Paano?
Yun nga,
Soli natin sa
Oo.
Italy?
Hindi,
Yeah,
siyempre,
yeah.
on our side, we will do the best that we can kung mayroong konting tweaks na pwedeng gawin. But as professionals, we have to protect ourselves. So, there's signed
That's right.
contracts, there's signed plans, diba? Kaya nga I encourage people to really, understand. Sometimes I ask for a laundry list. Ano ilalagay niyo sa kitchen? Diba? So they send us an
Mm-mm.
inventory of everything they're gonna put in there. So,
Mm-mm.
medyo nalihis na.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, we have another one from an anonymous attendee. The question is for seldomly used vacation homes, since we were talking about, building homes outside of the city, what kind of cabinet material would require the least maintenance? Oh, interesting.
Um, Ako yata.
Assuming that walang caretaker or, you know,
I think
maiiwan ng matagal yung
yeah.
bahay.
Um, I would not probably do lacquer kasi yun nga, especially if
Mm-mm.
meron sunlight, like a white
Mm-mm.
lacquer door, baka mas delikado. Sometimes laminate is even is recommended pa nga kasi laminate is
Mm-hmm.
a man-made material na it's really made to work in high humidity areas, diba? Especially in the
Mm-hmm.
Philippines. Of course, if you have extra budget, you can do glass doors or steel
Mm.
doors. Mas mahal siya. Pero if you want no maintenance, walang sakit sa ulo, parang that's a good option as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very important to invest in countertops that are non-porous. We've had a few experiences na the clients decided to buy granite countertops. Maganda siya,
Mm-mm.
marble countertops. These are natural stone. Maganda siya.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya lang, yun nga, because it's porous, parang the water seeps through, you don't go to the house for a while, baka magka-mold sa ilalim. So, we recommend using quartz, which,
Mm-hmm.
emulates, it looks like marble, looks like granite, pero it's non-porous.
Have you ever worked with neolith, the stone, for a kitchen counter? Have you ever
I think neolith
used
Ako
is
that?
never. Not
quartz yata
yet.
sila.
Never. It's new, no?
No, I think they're quartz. It's quartz also. It's just a
But
Quartz.
it's
Okay.
like super thin or something.
no, they're all thin. I think what you're talking about is yun parang tile, ganun kanipis, diba? Parang
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
so in the tile industry, I have a lot of friends in the tile industry and sila Grant, ganun. Nina kaibigan natin.
Yeah,
Uh,
friends with
uh,
Jan.
sila Kenneth, yun sa I have a lot of friends in the tile Felport. A lot of brands
Mm.
in Italy parang decided to create these large format tiles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yung large
Like three
format
meters, 3 meters
oh, like
long. Ganun.
malaki. So it was
Mm-mm.
initially meant to be used for exterior ng bahay, 'di ba, sa walls or yun malalaking flooring nga para magmukha siyang malaking tile, magmukha siyang totoong stone. Pero
Correct.
hindi yata masyado naging sellable. So they're trying to sell it um, to kitchen makers. So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
where these items come in. Pero yun nga, I advise a lot of our clients because we mainly work with Ashton and Felport.
Mm.
Ashton for the past 12 years parang has been very supportive of us. Most of our showrooms will have their countertops. They carry a brand called Silestone. And then si
Yes,
Felport
I've heard of
also a
this.
friend of mine, they carry Caesar Stone. So these are the two brands that we mainly work with. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I think we have time for just one last question.
Sure.
And I think both Brian and Nina can answer this question. How would
Okay.
you describe your dream kitchen?
Wow. Okay, I'll answer that. Um, One where honestly, I'm not much of a cook. I'm more of like I can bake, but I have yet to learn
Okay.
how to like do like really good cook meals. But an ideal kitchen for me would be a place where my family and my friends could gather and my dog.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just maybe something like there's an island in the middle, where
Okay.
you're also cooking and you're also, which is more or less the kind of kitchens that I'm designing for my clients. So I guess that's a part
Yeah.
of me that when you talk to clients, that's also uh, like lumalabas yung medyo yung frustrations with your own kitchen. So I always
Mm.
encourage them, try to put an island if you can, because it's a good gathering space. It's a good
Yeah.
it's great for preparing food, diba? It's not like nakatalikod ka lang the whole time as a dining area. It's nice to kind of like face then the people in the house when you're it's like interaction, interacting with
Correct.
other household members. They also get to learn from you. Those are the things then, like, if I may just add, the kitchen played a huge role in this recent pandemic and lockdown because family recipes were handed down all throughout the
Yeah.
year because people like just gathered in the kitchen. Parang though
Yeah.
the kids learned the lolas handed down the recipes to the mommies and the kids, and everyone had
Mm-mm.
interest in ano. So that's one thing that came out, a good thing that came out from the pandemic in terms of culture and heritage. Yan, parang stories were told around the
Yeah.
kitchen,
Over
recipes
food.
were handed
Mm-mm.
down. Oo. So I was supposed to study my master's abroad this year, historic
Mm-hmm.
preservation in Art Institute of
Nice.
Chicago, but I did it maybe next
Wow.
year because it's hard, like the lockdown happened, but it's really an
Yeah.
interest of mine. So this reflects in how I design spaces, diba? So may ganyan, and that's one thing that came out of the lockdown. An ideal kitchen would for me would be something like that. Everything's easy access, everything's easy to clean. Maybe some wall space left for some art so that
Mm-hmm.
there's human touch in the kitchen,
Yeah.
diba? Softens a bit. And yeah, an island where people can gather. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Got it. Got it.
About you, Bri? Si Brian naman, Valcochina yung
If
ano
you
yun,
don't already
dedication eh.
have the dream kitchen,
No, that I
okay ka na
this is
ata.
sobrang long story, so hindi ko na siguro pag-uusapan ngayon. But when I was designing my kitchen, parang it was probably the most difficult thing for me to do, just because parang we know everything that's available, and we've done so many kitchens already, and we're exposed to so many showrooms all over the world, na parang hindi ko na alam anong gagawin ko for my own.
Hmm.
But in the end, parang I asked my wife kasi si Bettina yung gagamit eh. So it all goes back to that. Parang who will use it? Ano yung function na
Yeah.
kailangan, 'di ba? If with
Mm-mm.
Nina, if she entertains a lot, parang yun a big island. If she
Yeah.
plans to work in the kitchen, you have to make sure you have enough outlets in the island. So it all goes back to the
Mm-mm.
details. Parang para sa
Yeah.
akin, it always goes back to the details because we don't want our kitchens in the house to look like showrooms. That's not
Correct.
it's not our objective. Eh. It looks beautiful. It can be in the showrooms, but that's an after effect lang of
Yeah.
all the thought process that we put into all the effort that our team parang puts into. I think for me that's the dream kitchen. Yeah.
Very nice. So it's not the Valcucina, ah. Hindi ka
Wala
pa
hindi
solve.
wala hindi pwede Scavolini or Valcocine kasi pareho silang mahal ko eh. Hindi po hindi pwede pumili. There's a question here, one last lang
Okay, go ahead. Sure,
from
sure.
It's Legaspi. I think this is more for Nina. Since
Okay.
pandemic will be here for quite some time, what design approach or attitude should a client have to engage an interior designer? Because nowadays, an interior designer is an extra expense for them instead of relying with their architects alone.
Wow. You just
Mm,
opened a can of this is like a deep
exactly.
Di mo ba pinili?
this is kaya ko to hindi
Me,
pinili kasi wala tayong time, Brian. Because
I will
this
try
is
to.
right,
Gusto ko kayo
Nina, this
mapansin
is
ko
like
eh.
a webinar on its own.
I have had, believe me, Nikki, I've had many inuman sessions with this topic
I can imagine.
with my IB friends and RT
Yep.
friends, like both, yeah.
Yes.
So like my colleagues from the industry, we discuss this a lot, diba? Parang how do you
Yeah.
convince clients to spend on professionals.
Students discuss this a lot.
Yeah,
What more
exactly.
practicing designers?
Oo, lahat. So I guess it's the same thing as, let's say you want a dress done and you want it to be a really nice dress which you will wear for many times and maybe hand down to your daughter one day or whatever. You can either try to do it yourself, follow YouTube tutorials, and try to
Yes.
make a pattern and sew it, diba? And like, hurt yourself in the process, or like in the
Yes.
end up with like a so dress that you had spent so many hours working on and you didn't get. You know what I mean? So as compared to, just why don't you go to a fashion designer and have
Mm-mm.
him or her design you a dress based on what you
Yeah.
like and how you want to feel in that dress. And you fine, you pay this designer a little bit more, but in the end, you end up with a real work of art that you can wear
Yeah.
over and over again and hand down to your daughter or what, or to your kid. Same as houses, diba? Yes, it's an extra
Mm-mm.
expense to hire an ID or an architect, and if you can have both, why not? Because they both have each have their own specialization, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky to have been able to work with really good architects that collaborate, with us well, and vice versa. And I'm
Mm-mm.
so inspired by the architects I've been working with lately. We respect each other. We enhance each other's work, because we
Yeah.
understand each other's visions. And in the end, the client just ends up with a really spectacular house. I mean, I'm sorry, buhat bangko, but that's what you do. That's
Mm-mm.
what happens if you work, if you get professionals and throw them in a project together, and it's what you
Correct.
get. Your money's worth forever and ever.
Yeah.
And really, we learn from each other. Ang galing ang galing nung collaboration. And include mo na rin doon yung landscape architect towards the tail end of the project, 'di ba? And
Mm-mm.
the art advisor, if there's one.
Yes.
You pay for these professions because we've been studying this our whole lives. So you pay for the training, you pay for the expertise and the discipline of these professionals. So yes, it's an extra expense. I'm not gonna deny that, but
Mm-mm.
who's gonna benefit from it in the end? It's you. You're gonna end up with a work of art in the house that you can be proud of and really feel like it's your own, diba? Oh my gosh, this was designed specifically for me. This space is
Mm-mm.
for my family, stuff like that. Yun. Oh, diba? I try
Very
to keep it
well
short.
said. I know. Very well
Till
said.
the next human na yan ang topic with Nami-miss ko na
The
nga yung mga
podcast.
industry
The
friends ko used to have like,
podcast.
Yan yung
oo.
podcast
We
topic
used to have
Yeah.
talks like this with me and my mga
Yes.
fellow IDs and architects. Wala na eh. Like, everyone just like wala nang cafe life and bar life eh. We used to meet
Correct.
every now and then. It's like vent.
True, true. Well, no, very, very well said. Definitely, it's all about finding that perfect collaboration of all the professionals that are needed into making your house a beautiful home. So again, Nina, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for
Thank you.
flying
Thank
home.
you, Nina.
Thank you so
Just
much for sharing just in time.
just in time. Earlier this morning, I was in an island in Mindanao. I was in Siargao, and I really tried to, I really made sure I was here for this talk. Can I just say I want to thank you also, Brian, Nikki, for inviting me, and I really enjoyed this chat. I just want to say that I've been watching all the modularity, the mod talks ever since the beginning, and me and my team at Grupo Santamaria, we really wait for it, and we really watch it, and we've gotten inspiration and a lot of really good insights, from all your guests, and it's a real honor to be here. Thank you so much for this talk.
Malakas ako sa iyo,
Thank you
Nina.
so much. Oo
Grabe.
nga, buti na lang, Brian,
Utang pa
kahit
ako
di
sa
ka, kahit yung unang encounter nyo, pinagbayad mo si Nina.
Nakalimutan ko na nga yun eh.
Sigurado.
Nina, before we let you go, there, as you mentioned earlier, we have a lot of students watching, industry practitioners, clients, and friends. Um, is there anything you would like to say to our audience members right now?
Yeah, I guess it's something very timely. I could just also say that uh design, interior design in particular, is a very, very important profession right now. What
Yeah.
you are, it's not just about coming up with a nice space, or something you could, something like nice to look at, or something to add to your folio, like this. It's really like you're affecting the lives of the people who are using it. Whatever you're
Mhm.
designing, whether it's just a kitchen, or a room, an entire house, this will really affect the lives of the user. So there's real value in interior design, in design in general,
Mhm.
especially at a time like this. Designing a really good home will lead to good, mental health for the users, physical, emotional, just happiness. That's the goal naman, di ba? That your home makes the users happy. So um we have that power as interior designers
Yeah.
and architects, and everyone in the design profession. We have that power to transform lives. So it's really, take your job seriously. And it's not just like what looks nice and what looks good in the picture.
Yeah.
It's what, how you really come up with a space that will be valued and treasured by its users for a very, very long time. So yeah, just keep at it. Don't give up in your studies. So for the in design student, I know it's hard. People are having a hard time now
Yeah.
because of the online. It's hard to like study design
Yes.
virtual, 'di ba? But if you really
Mhm.
want to be an interior designer, nothing can stop you, 'di ba? You really
Yeah.
just have to adjust. Everybody is
Yeah.
adjusting. So I guess keep that in mind. Yeah, like stick it till the end talaga. Like don't give up.
See it
Push.
through.
Push for it.
Correct. Thank you again, Nina Santamaria from Grupo Santa Maria.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for your time. We really appreciate all your insight and just everything that you've shared with us today. Of course, let's also thank Modularity Home for bringing us together today. They are the reason for why these conversations just keep getting better and better each time. Brian, before we go, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I just want to say thank you, Nikki. Thank you again for hosting today. As usual, it's a very positive discussion with you around Nina. Um, Despite all our jokes and patawa, parang I'm honored to work with you and your team.
Same.
I represent my team, Mylene, Gab, James, and the rest of Modularity. We love working with you. We hope we continue to build homes and kitchens together moving forward. Um, Thank you to everyone who joined today, and I noticed that there's a lot of people who watch this parang series even after the live um telecast ba tawag dito, Nikki? Hindi ako showbiz.
I
Tap-
also
Live
want to thank the
webinar.
listeners. I forgot to
Wow.
mention that. But thank you to everybody who listened to this talk. All the
Yeah.
listeners. Dami nyo ng fans, Mod Talks.
We hope na, we continue to inspire. We hope we continue to um distract you from the craziness that's going on around the world. Um continue to watch and give us comments and suggestions of what you guys want after this. Um, Everyone, thank you again, and please take care. Thanks, Nikki.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Thank you,
Thank
Nina. And of course,
you.
thank you also to our audience for listening and our into our conversation. We hope you can join us again for our next episode coming soon. In the meantime, you may visit Modularity Homes showrooms, Scabolini showroom, which is located in SM Mega Mall, and the Valcucina showroom at the Peninsula, to experience their systems. Of course, all while following the necessary safety protocols. You may follow and reach out to Modularity Home and Grupo Santa Maria via the contact details flashed on your screens. All right. Thank you again for joining us on this Thursday evening. This has been your host, Nikki Hill Albert. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
What is the most important area of your home? Is it the kitchen? Is it the bathroom? Is it the living room? Or bedroom? For us, they are all important, with each having its own unique significance. At Modularity Home, our focus and passion for over 10 years has been to provide the most premium cabinet systems to high-end residential homes. We assure this by exclusively partnering with some of Italy's finest brands that are recognized worldwide. Scavolini, Italy's favorite kitchen, has been constantly responding to design trends for 60 years. With over 1,000 showrooms across the globe and with a multitude of kitchen models and cabinetry systems, Scavolini has established themselves as the benchmark of the industry. Yet more importantly, Scavolini is all about family and aims to fill the heart of each home. Valcucine, the #1 kitchen brand in the world, is truly unmatched and belongs in a class of its own. This highly acclaimed kitchen brand is one that is distinctly associated to prestige and luxury. The superior advanced technology of Valcucine systems brings out new discoveries in our human experience and the environments we live in. Breathtaking, extraordinary, and timeless. Valcucine, innovation for life. Pianca, the masters of bedrooms, closets, and furniture systems, has been shaped by 14 generations of expert craftsmanship with a deep connection to Italian culture. With the ever-changing landscape and lifestyles, Pianca is dedicated to make you feel at home no matter what. Eleka, 50 years on air, has revolutionized the traditional image of kitchen hoods. Dubbed as the architects of the industry, Eleka has excelled in creating well-designed and highly functioning hoods with over 17 million items produced each year. Needless to say, the pandemic has changed our world. It has affected our lives, introducing new lifestyles that we have to adapt and prepare for. Mostly everyone is now at home more than ever. Work from home setups, online schooling, workouts, and socializing from inside our homes have become the norm. Let's make sure that we have beautiful, functional, and timeless spaces appropriate for every activity. Invest with the specialists, where quality is assured, maintenance is seldom, and a dedicated team constantly providing you with the best solutions. Whether you're building your dream home or renovating your existing residence, we invite you to step inside our showrooms. Visit our website and follow us on social media. Join us as we introduce you to a world of endless possibilities. Matched with our commitment to serve our customers and friends, we hope to supply each area of every house and make it your very own modularity home.